Hi, welcome to my page. I'm going to be discussing how to create and stick to a budget. How to create and stick to a budget. If you're going to agree with me, money is never enough. I don't want to know the amount you are making, but then if you don't have a good budget or you don't know how to actually manage and cut expenses, that money is never going to be enough. That is why budgeting is very, very important. Even if you are earning in millions, budgeting is very, very important. Very quickly, I'm going to be discussing 6 ways by which you can create and stick to a budget. My name is Deborah Victoria. If you are a returning viewer, you are welcome. And if you are a new viewer, please subscribe to this channel. It's just a button below. Tap and you can turn on the notification too so you can know when we drop subsequent videos. The first way to actually create and stick to your budget is by knowing your income. And not just knowing your income, knowing your net income. Now, if you are a finance person, or maybe you have a little knowledge of finance and all of that, or finance and all of that, you are going to know what net income is. Now, net income, or let me say net salary, is the salary that you have, or the money you have with you after you have removed your taxes or major billings, like maybe your electricity bill, things that are necessary, like things that are compulsory. Tax is compulsory. You must pay your tax. So if you not pay your tax, they are definitely going to arrest you or maybe get something done. After you have paid your tax, you have paid some other things like that. The money you have with you, that is your net income. One of the ways of actually creating a budget is by knowing how much you earn, whether on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. If you are a salary earner, definitely it's on a monthly basis. You need to know how much you earn. And if you are a service provider, that is why it is very important. I used to hammer it. You need to know, you need to have at least account so that you can know how much you earn per month or per week. That will actually help you in budgeting. The second way by which you can create and stick to a budget is to track your spending. Now, before you create a budget, you must have been spending money before. Okay, let's say this month now, I want to create a budget. Maybe let's say I want to save. Let's assuming I earn 50,000 naira. And out of 50,000 naira, I want to save, let's say 10,000 naira. That means I have 40,000 naira to myself. I want to say 40,000 naira. Now, I want to create a budget so that this 40,000 naira can actually carry me through the month. Now, I must be able to actually track my spending. Now, how do you track your spending? Previous month, how much did you spend? Previous month, you need to be able to know that previous month, I think majority of my money actually went on data, or majority of my money actually went to food, or majority of my money actually went to transport and all of that. You need to be able to track your spending. How have I been spending, or how did I spend the last morning? Now, tracking your spending also include the fact that now that you now have this money, can you track it? You need to be able to know where every dime goes to. If they ask you that money is remaining 20,000 naira, you must be able to account for that 20,000 naira that you have spent. You need to be able to track your spending. Another way of tracking your spending is to actually know your fixed expenses, like gas. You're definitely going to feel your gas, like food, groceries. You are going to eat for a month. You eat, so you need to know how much you are spending on food. I want to spend so amount on food, and you're going to cut your budget according to it. Anything you're going to, that means there will be no impulse buying. Imagine if you determine that you're going to spend 20,000 naira on food per month, so you have to cut it according to it, that 20,000 naira would be enough. The third way to actually create and stick to a budget is to set realistic goals. I'm just assuming, everything I'm saying here is an assumption. I'm using it as an example. Assuming I earn 50,000 naira, and let's say last month I spent 10,000 naira on data. Data is now kind of money consuming. Assuming I spent 10,000 naira on data, and so because I want to budget this month, and I now said I'm going to spend, and I budgeted 1k for data this month. It's not realistic enough, to be sincere. It's not realistic enough. That's why you need to spend what? Set realistic goals. Set realistic goals. You definitely know 2,000 naira will not take you for food in a month. Why are you writing 2,000 naira? You definitely know you can't drink Gary for a month. So why are you saying the only thing you want to drink for this month is Gary? Set realistic goals when you want to create and stick to a budget, or else you'll be pressurized to actually spend above the money that you intend to spend, or even do something unnecessary. So set realistic goals when creating and sticking to a budget. The fourth way is to make a plan. Plan yourself. Plan yourself. It's better when you plan yourself. After you know your income and you're able to track your spending and you set realistic goals, plan yourself. Like, be determined. Be determined. Like, I said I'm going to spend 20,000 naira on food. I'm spending 20,000 naira on food. You need to be able to know, stick to your budget, stick to it, make every resolution possible to stick to your budget. A lot of people actually make plans, and at the end of the day, they don't do anything close to the plan that they made. So who are you deceiving? Why do you make the plan? Why do you stress yourself? You need to be able to make plan and actually stick to that plan. So when you make a budget, one of the ways of sticking to it is by determining to stick to it. When you make a budget and you want to stick to it, please make sure that what you stick to it. The fifth one, which is actually very, very important, is adjust your spending to stay on budget. Adjust your spending. Adjust your spending. If you are this person that used to spend lavishly before, maybe somebody asks you for money, you dash the person 10k, another person asks you for money, you dash the person 15k, another person asks for money, you dash the person. It's not bad. There's nothing bad in giving. But then when you're creating and you want to stick to a budget, you need to be conscious of these things. You need to be able to what? Adjust your spending so that what you can stay on budget. When it comes to budgeting, it is not a time for impulse buying. People that budget don't do impulse buying. Let's say you are in a vehicle and you just saw somebody that passed with yogurt. You have a budget, and in your budget there is no yogurt there, so you don't have a business with yogurt. Just close your eyes. Don't worry. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. That's what you're going to do. Adjust your spending to stay on your budget. Make sure that what you don't overspend. Make sure you don't overspend. If there is no miscellaneous in your budget, you don't have to be buying things that are not in your list. It's that simple. And the sixth one is review your budget regularly. Always check, like maybe a weekly check or a daily check. Am I still on budget? Am I still spending according to the way I'm supposed to spend? Check it like that. Review your budget on a regular basis. I said I'm going to spend, let's say, 400 naira on transport today. Did I spend more than 400 naira on transport? I said I'm going to spend just 1,000 naira on food, on feeding today. Did I spend 1,000 naira on feeding? Check it. How much did I spend? Review your budget regularly. That's one of the ways. By the time you actually put these things into practice, it's not something that if you do one day or if you do in a month, you're going to get used to it. It requires you to be committed to it. Keep doing this regularly and put your mind at it. Before you know it, you'll be used to it. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching up to this moment. And if you're a new viewer, please don't forget to subscribe and probably turn on the notification button so that you can be notified when we drop other videos that are going to be helpful to you. Thank you.